Okay, so to start Millicent's quest, you want to come to this location here, and you'll see a broken down shack, and inside there'll be an NPC, and you want to speak to him and just go through all of his dialogue. So now, you don't have to do this now, but I did it second just to get out of the way. You want to come to this location, and there'll be a boss. You want to defeat him to obtain a golden needle, which you will need to give to Millicent eventually. But again, you don't have to do this now, but I did it second just to get it out of the way so I can make this quest more fluid, so I keep going back and forth. So you need to kill this guy and he'll drop a golden needle. So as I said, you get golden needle. You could go and speak to Millicent first and then do this, but I did it because you have to go back to the old man, as you'll see in a second. So once you get the needle, you want to go back to that shack with the old man and show him the needle. He will take the needle from you, and then you can move on to the next step. We will have to come back to him later to get it back from him, but after he takes it from you, you can move on to the next step, and that is opening the way to Millicent, so that we can carry on with our quest. So now you can go and open up the pathway to Millicent. So from where I just showed you on the map, you need to do a puzzle. This is the easiest way to get to her. So you need to do a puzzle to open this doorway, which you'll see up these stairs. There's this blue barrier blocking it to our right. So you need to go light some these statues or lanterns. So I'll leave this all uncut, and you can see where I'll go and what I do and how to unlock it. So now that all the lanterns have been lit, you can now go back to that archway and go through. We can now make your way up to the church where Millicent is resting. Now that you're at Millicent, you can go and speak to her. She's at this church now. You can see what we just came to. Just speak to her, go through all of her dialogue, and then you can move on to the next step. So once she starts repeating herself, you can move on. So now is when we go back to the old man to get the needle. So you can just run from Millicent out the side of the church, and if you're careful enough, you can just drop down, and then you need to drop down again back to shack. So again, be careful. You'll see this slope you can drop onto from that tree branch, and then you can just run down. It's the quick way down. You want to speak to him, and he will give you the gold needle, which you then need to go and give to Millicent.
Millicent rests at the church atop the cliff, tended to by the witless pest. A wretched fate.
Once you get the needle, go back up to Millicent, and you'll give her the needle.
You ask that I stab myself with the needle to quell.
Go through her dialogue again.
But how?
And when she does that, she'll sort of go into... She'll go unconscious, she'll fall asleep. And then you can just rest at the grace point, and then she'll be standing, and then you can speak to her again, as you'll see in a sec. Your screen will go black, this is part of it. She'll make some questionable moans.
Well, that was easier than expected.
So what this needle does is that it sort of
Why do I feel so?
holds back the scarlet rot affecting her, and now you can see she's asleep. So just go to a grace point, get up, turn around, and you'll see she's standing.
I hoped to see you again. My apologies.
And then you'll speak to her and just go through her dialogue,
I fainted before I could even thank you.
and then you can move on to the next step.
As you said. My destiny.
So once you've finished talking to her, rest at the grace point, get back up, and you'll see she's disappeared. She has gone to the old man at the shack below you, so just run back down, drop down the cliff, see this tree branch going off the side, carefully drop down, and you'll see Millicent at this shack, and the old man is gone. So you just want to speak to Millicent and go through her dialogue. So now you need to be far enough in the outer plateau to come to this fortress. Now Millicent is at this grace point here, but you don't need to speak to her. You can just go straight to this fortress here, because you need to get her prosthetic to give to her. So if you can go to that grace point and speak to her if you want, but it's not necessary. So you can just come straight to this place here and get the prosthetic. So I'll leave this uncut so you can see where you have to go. So now with that prosthetic you can go to Millicent and give it to her. So back the way we came, or you can just fast travel, and she's standing on the side of this cliff here. So if you want to speak to her before you get the prosthetic, you can. She's standing in this place here.
In truth, it's been smooth sailing for me. The scarlet rot has
This is the conversation you'd get speaking to her.
I've been able to continue my journey
For the prosthetic.
Vexingly, I realized that
But
if
you can
I
just skip
still
through
had
it
my
and give
sword arm,
her the
I
prosthetic.
could have aided you in battle. Are you giving me this arm? Thank you. I am in your debt yet again, I think. If the arm serves well enough, it might be possible for me to wield a sword again. It might be possible for me to wield a sword again. Perhaps then I can aid you.
The next time you see Millicent will be at this location here. There is a boss fight, so you can just... From where Millicent is, you can see you just have to go up there. Now, you can summon Millicent for this boss fight. I'm not sure if I did. I might not have, but you can summon her for it. It's not necessary to summon her, you don't have to. She will appear here after the boss fight anyway. You can just hit... Yeah. There it is. You can summon her. I think... Did I? I did summon her. Okay, you don't have to summon her. But you see there's one of the Godskin duo, skinny fucker. There he is. So you want to kill him. And then Millicent will be standing nearby where you can then speak to her. Now, I should probably mention, at this point, if you want to, you can kill Millicent. And if you kill her, you'll get Millicent's prosthetic talisman. But once you've killed her, that'll be it for her quest. It will end just there. And that's how you get one of her talismans. So you can kill her once she's got this arm, basically, if you want that talisman. If you continue her quest all the way to the end, you'll get the rotten winged talisman, I believe. So, depending on what talisman you want, is up to you. But I'm going to show you her quest all the way up to the end. But from here on out, at any point, if you want her talisman, kill her before you get to the last step. Next, you'll find Millicent at this location here, mountaintop of the giants. So you'll need to be far enough into the game to have access to this area.
To think we'd meet.
So you just want to speak to her and go through her dialogue.
What could your purpose possibly?
Now at this point, the next time you see Millicent is at the Halig tree. So to get to the Halig tree, you need the medallion. There's two parts to it. So in case you haven't got it, I'm going to show you where the two parts are. So just follow this path. Now in the gameplay, I've already got this part, but I'm going to show you where you get it from anyway, in case you haven't got it. So just follow my path and I'll tell you where it is. And don't get hit by the crab. I mean, if you get hit by the crab, it's okay, but I don't think anyone wants to be hit by that thing. So when you get here, this guy will be a pot. Just roll into the pot, jump on it, and he will reveal himself, and he'll give you the medallion. He's already given it to me, so that's why he's not giving it to me now, because I just haven't gone through his dialogue. So that's the first part. The next part, you need to defeat Commander Niall. I'll show the location of it later on in this clip. I forgot to show you it before, but I defeated him. Just follow the path and you'll see at the end of this clip where the location is. Now that we've got both parts of the medallion, you can go to this, English. You can go to this lift, this elevator, press triangle or Y, whatever button it is for you to change the option to show the secret medallion. And this will take you to the secret path of the Halig tree, which we then need to go through to actually get to the Halig tree. So once you get there, I will then show you where to go, because in this area it is a bit hard to see because there's a snowstorm going off. So I'll just cut through the cutscene. This is where you'll end up. I'll leave this uncut so you can see where I'll go. I might even get confused myself, to be honest. But yeah, you have got a bit of a run to do because it is quite far. Just avoid the enemies and we'll get outside. You can kill them if you want, but they are kind of annoying. A big thing will drop on you here, so be careful of that thing. So now we're outside, so I'm going to speed this up a bit. And just try and follow me if you can. It is a bit confusing. I think you just want to head north. If you bring up your map, try and head as north as possible, but be very careful because you could fall to your death or whatever. So now we've got a rather annoying part of the quest. There's a bit of a puzzle that we need to do. So you can see this is where we started and this is where we need to go if you got lost. But now we've got a puzzle to do. So jump on torrent. Now on one of the earlier steps to get to Millicent, we had to light some lanterns, if you remember. We've basically got to do that now again. But there's invisible enemies and there's enemies with bows and arrows, or magical bows and arrows, which do a lot of damage. So I'm gonna leave this uncut and unedited so that you can follow it, because it can be annoying, and the first time I did this I did die a few times to some of the enemies. I think I even get attacked by one of them, so be careful because one of them is invisible around you here somewhere. This is where you get attacked first. There you go, you can see he's invisible and he does a lot of damage. There you go, you can see him, he's one of those Black Knife assassins. Luckily my spear does a lot of area of effect damage, so I can kill the thing. Yeah, you want to light these statues like candles. And there's a few more, so I'll leave this uncut and you can try and do it yourself. this is where you want to be careful of the guys with the arrows. You can see them there, you just want to try and dodge them as best as you can. If you get hit by one of them, it sort of like stuns you because of how many there are. Like, look how much damage I've taken. It's hit me like once or twice. So you want to be very careful. There is a way to skip this step, but it's very tricky. So I'd say just go for doing this. Yeah, so once you've lit that last candle, you'll return to the normal world, and then you can just go up the stairs and you'll see a portal you can interact with, and it will take you straight to the Haley tree. So this is where you'll end up once you interact with the portal. So like earlier, I'm going to leave this part uncut but sped up because there is quite a run and there's a lot of enemies, so I suggest just running through all of them. And be careful because a lot of them will infect you with scarlet rot. So I'm going to speed this up a bit and leave it uncut, so just follow exactly where I go. Now I know I said that I'd leave it uncut, but I did actually die here, so just carry on with, that's why there's a cut here, so just keep going forward. Because as you can see, I did get affected by scarlet rot, and it did kill me. So yeah, just keep going forward, follow my path. Now this part is also very tricky, and I do die here as well. You can see this guy is very annoying. It's basically you want to run to that elevator because it opens a shortcut, and it makes this entire process a lot easier instead of having to do that entire run again. So I'm just gonna make another cut here back to that area. Yeah, so this time I'm killing that guy so he doesn't screw me over. So just run to this elevator, and this will take you up to one of the first starting graces in this area. You should recognise it because it's up right at the beginning. Rest at this grace because we have a boss fight coming up, so if you die you can just take the elevator down instead of having to do that entire run all over again. Now we're coming up to where Millicent is now, but outside here you'll see there's an enemy. Kill this enemy here in case it goes inside and attacks Millicent. Because you don't want Millicent to die now, because you're close to the end. So kill that enemy here. You'll see Millicent standing there. So this is where we are now. Speak to Millicent and go through all of her dialogue like usual.
In which case,
until she starts repeating herself. Once she starts repeating herself, that's when you know you've gone through all of her dialogue.
but in what capacity?
So from Millicent, turn around, and we've got a bit more of a run to do. Now, I'm not sure if I die, because you'll see what happens and what you have to do. This giant tree thing, I can't remember what it's called, right at a doorway that you need to go through. You can obviously fight it if you want. See that big thing there? Because you need to go behind it and run in. And you see it does a lot of damage, so just quickly interact with the grace point, because yeah, there you go. He's rather annoying, so try and get behind him and interact with the grace point. So we're very close to the end now, so at this point, if you haven't killed Millicent for her prosthetic talisman, it's probably too late at this point, so just keep following this path. And there is scarlet rot here, so be very careful. Make sure you have a lot of flasks or a spell to cure it all. Or if you have this outfit, it's this mushroom looking fucking thing. And there's one of these things. Yeah, so this is all just scarlet rot. Okay, if there's these little bug things that are also in the scarlet rot, which will also attack you. So just follow this path and it'll take you to a grace point. It's the same grace point that you go to go towards Malenia as well. So drop down. Now if you keep going forward, that will go towards where Malenia is, but we're not going that way. So from this grace point, turn back around and go back the way we came. We've got a boss fight coming up, and you have to do this boss. And it is rather annoying. It's one of those giant worm things. Up here there's one of these annoying fuckers. Just deal with him. You should really deal with him, because otherwise he's going to really like cause problems. So you can see on the right here there's that little branch what goes down. If this boss is too difficult, you can jump onto that, so spawn it in, then jump onto that and run back up onto the branch, and you can use a bow and arrow or spells to attack it from afar, and it shouldn't cause any problems. For me, I'm going to go up here, and that's how I'm going to deal with it. But yeah, if it's too difficult, run back into that tree branch and attack it from afar. So once you've killed it, I recommend going back to the grace point to heal up and get more Estus flasks, because you've got another fight coming up. And now you've got a choice here, so I'll quickly show you. You've got a choice. You can either assist Millicent in the gold yellow summon symbol on the floor, or you can attack her. So I'm going to help her so I can get her rotten winged talisman. So when you spawn in, you'll see she's being attacked. Now you want to help her because she can die here. I believe even if she dies here though, I'm pretty sure you can just do it again. Let's just see. They can cause problems for you too. I think that has sisters. I can't see the text, it's too small where I'm recording this. Is that all of them? There we go. So once you've defeated them, you'll return to your world. Now here, be very careful not to jump on Millicent because you can kill her because it's very fragile here. There you go, got her talisman. So you'll see she's down there to the left. Be careful you don't jump on her, so otherwise you'll kill her and you won't get the last bit of a quest.
Hello. Thank you for lending your hand. Without
So
your
you just want
help,
to speak to her, go through her
I could not
dialogue.
have defeated that quartet. I feel as if I've been the
So
Scarlet
she'll
Heart
tell you to
soon.
leave, and then what you can do, you can go back to the grace point, rest, or you can just log out and log back in, and she'll die. And you'll get the golden needle back. And with that needle, if you defeat Malenia and you have the frenzied flame inherited, you can use that needle on the flower that Malenia turns into to basically get rid of the frenzied flame. Once you get to Placidusax, if that's how you say his name, one of the secret bosses. But yeah, once you get that, you can return to the old man in the shack, and you'll see he's
My daughter,
very upset.
why would you take out the needle? You were so close, so very close to becoming the fairest of all flowers. Would you disown us too, as your mother did? We children of the scarlet rot. Millicent, Malenia, do you detest us so utterly? Millicent, Malenia, do you detest us so utterly?
So that is Millicent's quest done pretty much. So now, if you want to, as I said about the golden needle and Malenia, I'm going to just quickly show you myself. So go back to that grace point which we got to in the sewers. This path goes to Malenia, so I am going to go and fight her, as you'll see. Now, she is one of the hardest bosses in the game. This spear is one of the... well, it's my favourite and like the cheesiest weapon in the game, I think. It makes her fight look like a walk in the park, I'm going to be honest. But it's a very cheese weapon. So, this is the grace point outside Malenia's boss room. Now, she is a rather hard fight. Even with this weapon, I died like 2 or 3 times. And now with Malenia dead, if you rest at the grace point, you'll see when you turn around, she would have bloomed into a flower, and then you can, with the needle, you can interact with the flower, and with that new needle, if you, as I said, if you've inherited the frenzied flame, when you go to Dragon Lord Placidusax's like arena, you can then use the needle on yourself to get rid of the frenzied flame, so you don't have to get the bad ending. And that's it. That is Millicent's entire quest done.